For Parmenter, Ms. Barca and Ms. Lamoureux, I love hearing about the student mentor program. You've brought it up in previous meetings and at some of the SWAC meetings. I'm wondering, is this something that maybe we could roll across all elementary schools? Is that maybe something that we've thought of, not just Parmenter?
So if I could address both your and Jen D'Angelo's questions and comments, I do want to provide a little background and history to why this mentorship program started, and specifically here in Parmenter. Recent events, as I know you're all aware of, related to racial injustice and systemic racism in our country and our community, has served as evidence for the need to provide more voice among our minority students. Additionally, some of our female students of color have recently expressed, or last year and continued into this year, expressed in a variety of ways the need to engage in critical conversations with others who share a similar experience and become actively involved in working towards improving self-awareness, self-esteem, and social awareness. As we saw, this was plummeting among this specific group of students. They also voiced to us the need to have mentors or staff of color that they feel represented. So we saw this as an opportunity to establish a like group of students who regularly meet and have conversations around similar experiences, views, and perspectives and ideas, specifically related to discrimination and racism. Therefore, because of the developmental age of these students, their cry for help and need to sit with other students who were similar to them with their race and their cultural background, they found a voice. They found a common understanding. And the plan is then to expand this to include a more diverse group so that they can share their voice with others who are not similar to them, but they can educate them. So I felt that, I do feel the need to provide that background and the goals and also some of the wonderful developments that have come from this like group that was specifically developed to be a like group. Just like we have new student groups that form when we have groups of new students and they have lunch bunches with our school adjustment counselors and our school psychologists. We have mourning groups, a death of a family member or loved one. This is a like group, but when they are going through things that they need to be counseled about or to be mentored about, it does help for them to start with that like group. So I just wanted to point that out, and there was a need at Parmenter, and that's why we had that.
If I can build on that, because the question came a bit about expanding across to other schools. I think Shannon has done a really nice job to describe the evidence and the data about the need at Parmenter, and I would just point out we also have some data and evidence about the impact that the program has had, and there is Numbe, when she was recognized at the town council meeting, had talked about the impact and how the language that the girls are using to talk about themselves has changed, and you can see their self-esteem improve. I do want to just add, though, because I think that there's a lot of education vocabulary in the district improvement plan, and one of the vocabulary words or one of the vocabulary things that was mentioned is affinity group. And I think this is an opportunity to expand upon the idea of affinity group, because I would almost liken the affinity groups that they're introducing at the middle schools to this mentoring group that is happening at Parmenter. And it was in response to a specific need based on a disciplinary incident and an example of a restorative and accountable practice in response, recognizing that there were individual students involved in a very hateful disciplinary incident, and that they needed support, and that they and so we have put together an affinity group, not with older students, but with a gentleman, the diversity, equity, and inclusion coordinator in another district, to support these students with an idea towards building capacity among our middle school staff and middle school educators, and ultimately expanding the expanding the support and involving allies of students to be up standards. So it does really fit in with the overall peer leader World of Difference program that the middle school administrators and teachers have been shepherding for the past couple of years. So we just wanted to expand upon that a little bit because I think there's a parallel between the two.
Thank you.